Blog Talk Radio.
Yes. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Art of Change. My name is Mr. Wiliam Lavell. This is our premiere podcast. This is Chapter 1, Verse 1. It is the beginning. Joining me at this time is my best friend, my confidant, the man that I am proud to call my personal champion, Mr. J.C. Dykes Jr. Are you there, J.C.?
I'm here, Mr. Lavell. How are you this evening?
I am doing quite well. I'm just a little bit under the weather. Got a respiratory infection right now that I'm battling, but I'm sure I'll get over it.
You should. You got the best health care. You got that Canadian health care, not Obamacare.
Well, true, but that would require me having to go all the way to Canada, which would mean I'd have to actually drive through this forsaken state in order to get to my destination, and so I think I'll just stay put where I'm at and let my superior Canadian immune system take care of this illness.
I think it will. I'm not going to interrupt you too much. Just go ahead and preach your gospel. I'm here wherever you need me.
Okay. Well, again, this is Chapter 1, Verse 1. With every story comes a beginning. And I have a beginning. I have a beginning that began before most of you even realized. At one time, I was nothing more than, how do you say, a passing name. I would write articles for the independent wrestling scene, and I would post them online. Started out with WVPW, West Virginia Professional Wrestling. And from there, it gradually evolved into what we now call West Virginia Championship Wrestling. I was content in being anonymous. Mainly because, after all, I'm a professional wrestling referee. We're not supposed to have an opinion. We're supposed to walk that line. We're not supposed to take sides. We're not supposed to favor anybody over somebody else. Every single article, every single word that I put down was the absolute truth. And what's really sad is that I was not able to actually speak that truth. I was not able to go out there as myself and declare, this is how I feel. This is what I think. Because then the higher-ups, the board of directors, or even Mr. Eric Foster, might have issues with what I'm saying. And as such, I would be reprimanded. But I know how it goes. It's all about politics. I even knew back then it was about politics. So I remained anonymous. No, I always had desires to see my ideas come to light. You know, granted, I'm no great wrestling mind. I'm a businessman. That's it. I'm just a simple businessman. I'm not like some other big money marks out there who may have a few bucks to throw at a few wrestlers, try to put on the biggest show of the decade, try to become the New York of West Virginia. But I don't have those kind of resources. And I also know my own limitations being just a businessman. It's hard enough running a business with the egos that run around at a simple restaurant. But when you deal with professional wrestling, egos will eat you alive. So I do not envy whatsoever the board of directors in the position that they're in. I do not envy any booker, any promoter out there for their position. But I still have ideas. I still have great ideas. Now it seems, before we get on any further here, I have a caller on hold. We're going to go ahead and let this gentleman in, and let's see what happens. All right. Caller, you are on the air. Do I have a caller? Mr. Dykes, are you still with me?
I'm still here.
Well, evidently, our friendly neighborhood caller decided not to hang around on the phone, so we'll just go ahead and hang up on him. You don't have the time for me. I don't have the time for you. Goodbye. Now, there's one thing I do want to clarify. I'm sorry, Mr. Dykes. I did not mean to interrupt you.
No, I'm just laughing. You know, they can call in and listen, but the minute you put them where they can speak their mind, they don't want to speak.
Well, this is an open forum. This is about truth. This is about honesty. It's the one thing that I have been preaching from day one. Honesty. I'm willing to be honest. I'm willing to let anybody else come on here and be honest with their opinions. But at the same time, they need to realize that this is my program. And being as such, you will be respectful to me. This is a new time for me right now. I'm not used to the respect that I've deserved. But I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now from the people above us. I'm getting it now from the West Virginia Championship Wrestling Board of Directors. I never got that before when I was wearing the stripes, but I have it now. I may not be used to it, but I like it. I like it a lot. It's almost like a substance, like a chemical, like a drug. Feels good. Feels. Now, contrary to popular belief, I do have much respect for the WVCW roster. While there are many on this roster that I really don't care of, that they could disappear tomorrow, and it would be so wonderful. My life would be so much better. The human race would be so much better if certain individuals just go away, just hide under a rock somewhere. But it's not my place to send anybody away. It's not my place to hire and fire. It's not my place to put a bug in the ear. It is simply my place right now to guide. And not only am I hoping to guide my associates, Mr. Dykes included, into a better tomorrow, I'm hoping to guide West Virginia Championship Wrestling into a better tomorrow. I see we have yet another caller. Let's go ahead and put him on and see what this individual has to say. Caller,
yeah,
you are online.
This is Jeff Griffiths from the Nerdy 30s podcast and the announce table at WVCW. And I just have a couple quick questions for you, Mr. Lavell.
And you may speak them.
Okay. Number one, you still really, in my opinion, not actually said what the change is that you're wanting to bring. It's like you keep saying change, but I don't really know what the change is. And the other question would be, how do you feel about the fact that for you to feel that there needs to be a change, you obviously feel that there's something wrong with the current product. How do you feel about the fact that there is a group of people that are planning on making a road trip from New York, coming from New York, picking up people in even the upper part of Virginia? They're hooked on the program from watching it over the last year. And so that would be my question. If there's something wrong with the product, how is it hooking people from that far, across the country? What's your opinion on that?
Let me just state for the record, I love WVCW. WVCW is my home, Mr. Griffith, and I do not want to see it go away. It is a nice, cozy place. It is a nice, warm place that I can lay my head. I can hang my hat, that I can proudly say, I belong. But as far as the change goes, Mr. Griffith, have you not been watching the last 2.5 years? You have a man like J.C. Dykes Jr. You have a man like J.C. Dykes Jr. who busts his back for the company. Then he finally gets a shot, and he is the man. He is the leader of the company. He is the face of the company. And then in walks Scotty Blaze. And they have a knockdown, drag-out fight at Battle at the Ballpark. And Scotty Blaze walks out, the new West Virginia champion. Now, hold on. How long did it take? How long did it take before the powers that be decided that Mr. Dykes deserved his contractually obligated rematch?
I honestly can tell you I don't remember exactly when the rematch was, so I can't answer that.
Miracle on the Mountain 3. That
was how long it was. And now I will agree that there should have been a rematch before then. I concur.
There is another example. Chris Keffer. A couple years back, he was known as Kid Chaos. He is the second ever West Virginia heavyweight champion. Yet when he lost his title to Ryan Edmonds, the new golden boy at the time, might I add, the man that was supposed to be the big thing for the company, the man that was supposed to make us make our stand. And then they decided there's no room for you, Kid Chaos. There's no room for you here, Chris Keffer, so we're just going to sweep you out the door. Goodbye. See you later.
So,
West Virginia champions that never got their just dues until I came back into the picture and I made it happen. Those are the kind of changes that I'm talking about. I'm changing things for the better for the people that deserve them.
What's the story on Kurt Taylor?
So long was he relegated to the tag team ranks. So long was he held behind their ultimate hero, Daniel Halen. Old Danny Boy. And I heard all the talk in the back. I heard all the scuzzlebutt. I knew exactly what they had planned for Mr. Taylor. He was going to go the way of the dinosaur. He was going to be left behind, and they were going to make Daniel Halen the poster boy of the junior division. No. You don't do this to a man that has the absolute talent that Kurt Taylor has. You don't do this to a man that has devoted his young life and that has so many more years to give to this profession. You don't treat him like this for him to be disgusted by all the politics and the backstage BS and to have him just simply throw it all away. You know, we've seen a lot of a little bit of talk here online on Facebook about how I don't feel that people, you know, they don't take me seriously. They're not giving me that shot. I have so much talent, but they're not giving me that shot. Kurt Taylor was in that position. I made sure he did not stay in that position. That is the change that I am bringing forth to WVCW. I'm bringing the change also to you. To you and all those people that sit beside you in your bleachers. To all those people that sit at home and watch noon on Wednesdays on the CW network. To all the people that click on their YouTubes and they click on their Facebook. I want to change them. I want to change the way that they see, the way that they understand, the way that they feel. I know you don't like me. That's fine. But the beautiful thing about it is when somebody rises up and he presents and he proposes something that's going to just completely change the way that you see things, you're going to battle against it.
Yeah.
You people have been swallowing so many of the lies, so much of the garbage that the board of directors has been feeding you. I honestly feel bad for each and every single one of you. I honestly feel it makes my stomach just tighten up and I just want to vomit when I see them coursing lies down your throat. You sit there and you cheer your revolution. You cheer your Mikey Stevens. Who is Mikey Stevens? Who is Stephen Michaels? Who is he? He's a joke. He is a worm. And yet they have twisted your mind, make you believe that he is your champion, that he is your revolution. No, Mr. Griffith. It is us. It is the network. It is J.C. Dykes Jr. It is Chris Keffer. It is Kurt Taylor. It is me. We are your revolution.
Okay. Well, I heard your points, and before I hang up, I'll simply say that although I will agree that you have brought change, I will also say that it can be said, many people will say change is not always a good thing. Just because there's change for the sake of change doesn't mean it's a good thing. So we'll see what happens. But I think that we chose Stephen Michaels because we saw something in him that we all saw in ourselves, and that's the passion to want to get in the ring and show their love for professional wrestling. So I don't think Steven's a joke. I don't think the Revolution's a joke, and it's something that we at Nerdy 30 stand behind and fight for. So just wanted to call in, get your opinions on those things, and I did pick you up on my fantasy team, so get me some points. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith. And see, this is what it is. This is what it is. This is about talking, about giving you people the truth, about letting everybody know what it's all about. And it's about change. Now, I'm going to take a short 30-second spot here, and going to give our sponsor, the Lion's Den. I'm going to give them a little time to talk to you, and then I'll be right back.
Come to the Lion's Den, October 17th, for Ladies' Night. Ladies, it'll be a night of education, games, and fun, with giveaways and so much more. The Lion's Den, located at exit 28 off of I-77 in Gent, West Virginia, wants you to come out. And ladies, don't forget, when you come to the Lion's Den on October 17th, you will receive a 20% discount between 7 and 9 p.m. Come to the Lion's Den.
And welcome back. Mr. Dykes.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts or opinions over the questions of one Mr. Griffith?
No, I try not to pay too much attention to it. I mean, the fans don't matter nothing to me. They never have.
Oh, there you have it. Enough said. Once again, I respect your opinions, as everybody else should respect your opinions. But I do want to touch on one thing. Mr. Griffith made a point that Stephen Michaels represents everybody else. Everybody else that wishes they had the passion and the desire to step into the ring. Funny.
Stephen Michaels represents everything that's wrong with this one.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly, Mr. Dykes. But for them to say that means, well, nobody else has the passion or the desire to step into the ring. So in other words, you are nothing more than a joke, Mr. Dykes.
Apparently.
Mr. Keffer is nothing more than a joke. Mr. Lynch is nothing more than a joke. Mr. Morton is nothing more than a joke. Mr. Gypsy is nothing more than a joke. Huh. Because they don't have the passion, they don't have the desire. Again, the WVCW nation has been fed so many lies and so much garbage and so much flat-out BS that it's going to take almost an entire, so much reprogramming. We have our work at Dykes.
I'll be right back.
Now, make no mistake about it, people. I do respect, other than, well, Mr. Michaels, the Worm. Well, no, I take that back. I can't call him the Worm because that would mean I would be disrespecting one particular superstar out there. Cockroach. Yeah. That's what he's now on. He's the Cockroach. I have no respect for him. But for everybody else that has stepped into a wrestling ring, into a WVCW wrestling ring, into our current roster, believe it or not, I highly respect each and every single one. After
Here's
all,
the thing. Sir, if I interrupt you for 1 second, it's okay.
please do.
They don't realize you may respect that roster and the company, but they don't respect us. That's why we have to bring the change. I have bled all over this state for this company and never received any recommendation, any commendation. I'm now a Triple Crown winner. I've won the tag team title, I've won the television title, I won the heavyweight title. And, of course, no recognition. Was there recognition for Eric St. Clair when he got it? Of course. No recognition from me. That's my whole theory on this. You can respect that roster as much as you want. I don't respect anybody on that roster except for us.
Once again, the opinions of Mr. Dykes are completely endorsed. I may not agree, but I do endorse the words of my best friend, Mr. J.C. Dykes, Jr. Now, speaking of Mr. St. Clair, speaking of the voice of WVCW, again, I do have deep respect. Excuse me. Deep respect for the man. I actually patterned myself. This whole reveal came about because of one Mr. Eric St. Clair. If it wasn't for the fact that he bamboozled the entire WVCW nation, if it wasn't for the fact that he just took tradition and threw it out the window and did his own thing, took what he needed to take to get to where he needed to get, I would not be sitting here talking to any of you today. I owe him a great debt. I owe him much gratitude. Without him, I could not exist. But that does not mean that I'm going to let him stop us from achieving our goals. We have an agenda, a list. And at the very top of that list, number 1 simply states Stephen Michaels. We are going to destroy Stephen Michaels. We are going to rid WVCW of Stephen Michaels. I'm tired of watching him walk into a wrestling ring and meanwhile there are more deserving individuals sitting in a locker room that deserve that spot. I really don't have anything personal against Stephen Michaels, but there are people that deserve more. There are people that deserve better. But instead, the WVCW Board of Directors decide to take this cockroach and shove it into the face of the nation, and they greedily eat it up. You know, I think this is going to be a good place to stop it, because if I go any further, I'm going to have to call my therapist, and ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Art of Change. I am your host, Mr. William Lavell. I would like to personally thank my best friend and my guest, J.C. Dykes, Jr.
Very well.
Have a pleasant evening.